What's going on, guys, and welcome back to this week's episode of Outside the Arena with Mac and Griff. I'm Griff Canseco, joined by my co-host Mac Rommel, and today we have a very special guest. He is the creator of sportsencyclopedia.com. He's also a blogger and vlogger for Barstool Sports, and finally, he shares my pain in being a diehard New York Mets fan. Ladies and gentlemen, Frank the Tank. Frank, how are you doing today?
All right. I'm sick of this snow.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
Weather's crazy now. Yeah. So basically, I guess we'll jump right into it. And of course, working for Barstool. So our first question would be is, how did you get into working for Barstool, and what do you enjoy about working for them and the legend himself, Dave Portnoy?
Well, my experiences at Barstool started 4 years ago when I had that epic rant about the New Jersey transit system trying to get to Mets opening day. So that was basically the start of it. I was a part-time blogger for a couple of years. And then finally last October, I got the chance to go full-time. And I think everything about it is great. It's like a fantasy camp.
What would you say your favorite thing so far about working for Barstool has been? Is there a specific memory, specific opportunity you've had that you've really enjoyed?
The opportunity to be creative.
So is there any I guess my next question would be is any specific moment, I guess, that Barstool's created that maybe changed your outlook on life or just in general in your career?
No, I'm just having fun, and that's different. I mean, it's amazing. When I go on days I go into the office, it's like you blink and the day's over.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the dream life. It really does. You obviously see all the clips of everyone just having fun, and it seems like any sports fan would just have a blast there and just want to work there. And,
yeah.
Just hang with. Seems awesome. Yeah. So I guess with that, we'll move on kind of to the next thing, which surrounds the Mets, obviously. I'm curious as to, how your fandom for them started. And then also, yeah, I guess that's the main first question. How did you become a Mets fan?
When I first started really following baseballs, when the Mets were just becoming a really dominant, great team. I mean, they had Dwight Gooden, they had Darryl Strawberry, they had Gary Carter, Keith Hernandez. So basically, when those teams were winning, when I was starting to be a Mets fan. I was a Met fan since 1985, I would guess you would say. And then 86, they won the World Series.
Yeah, so of course, Mets, they came a long way. So right now, they've had a crazy offseason, a lot of big moves. How do you feel about this offseason, and how do you feel about them going into the 2021 season?
It wasn't a bad offseason. It could have been better. They could have made a couple more moves. I think maybe they might need another move or two before the season starts, but I would give the offseason a B.
B. What would you have liked to see? I mean, I know obviously they were linked to Springer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I hope Trevor Bauer is an absolute fucking bust.
Yeah. Yeah. What were your whole thoughts on that whole dilemma? And that, I mean, I was in. Yeah.
He's a piece of fucking shit.
Yeah.
It's obviously what he did. He put out that Met he's selling Met gear to get the Dodgers to make one last offer.
Yeah, it was. I remember, I was in. I think I was in class that day, and I just remember I was on Twitter and I was seeing all the things about the signed hat giveaway and the whole email, and just to just go to all that length, and he was like, I know he came out with the apology, but it just
well, the apology is very lame.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I don't think you go doing all that if you're just not trying to be a troll, and he has that troll nature. So Yeah. So I mean, what do you?
I mean, there's nothing will please me more to see him be an absolute failure.
Yeah.
Nothing would please me more.
I guess my next question would be, looking into the 2021 season, what are you most excited about the team? And I mean, what do you also, obviously tough division. What are you maybe worried about too?
Injuries. Every time the Mets always seem to have a rash of injuries.
So if put injuries aside and they stay healthy this year, do you think they have a true chance to contend for a World Series this year?
Yeah, they do. But they just need probably more bullpen help. I mean, Edwin Diaz, he's got to pitch as good as he did in 2020, not go back to Ed Luz of 2019. Now, what's interesting is that they're supposed to be deadening the ball.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, maybe that will help Ed Luz. Yes, he was one of the people that complained about the baseball in 2019 when it was juiced up to the highest level, which was ridiculous.
Yeah.
When the home run becomes that cheap, something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget it. Todd Frazier basically falling down, off balance, swinging off his fucking heels. Check swing, home run.
Yeah.
It was the most ridiculous home run I've ever seen.
I guess with that, Mac, do you want to preview the next segment?
Let's do it. So if you're up for it, we got a little slideshow, and basically it's called Tank Time. We're gonna have a bunch of players, and basically you're gonna rate them, how much you like them, don't like them. I guess 1 is most liked, 10 is they absolutely pissed you off, and maybe share a favorite moment of viewing them.
All right.
All right. So first one, pretty easy here.
Well, that's a 1. He's one of my all-time favorites.
Do you have a specific memory that comes to mind? Favorite memory of David?
The double over the head of Bernie Williams to have a walk-off win against the Yankees. And Mariano was pitching.
Always good when you get Mariano. All right, so the next one, and some of these are weird. There's a few weird ones on here, but here's the next one.
I'm going to give him a 6. The 2015 run was great. He was a decent player in 2016. And then he got that big contract, and boy, did he just went down the tubes. I mean, the 2018 injuries, then he had double heel surgery. Then just before his comeback, he gets hurt again. And then he comes back last year, and then he leaves the team without even telling him he's leaving the team. And then calls later says, "Oh, I'm opting out." He's a big fat phony. I'm not surprised no one signed him. I think his major league career is over because people know what he's all about, and they don't trust him. And no one should trust him.
Yeah, I think after the 2015 year and just being in New York, I think it seems like it just. I mean, he obviously had the injuries, but it also seems like it just got to him too. I mean,
well, he's someone that probably didn't reach his full potential. He had good years. He had bad years. 2015 was good. 2016 was good. And then the injuries started. And it's almost like he got that big contract and then he just decided to coast the rest of his career. I mean, the injury chasing the boar is just the absolute biggest joke ever.
That's up there in all-time like Mets land right there. I mean, ugh, yeah, that was a disaster. All right, with that, we can move to the next one. Is it not? I guess it's not going. Here we go.
Ugh. Why don't you have him pointing to the sky?
I couldn't find a picture of it. The classic. For those that don't know, the classic Hansel Robles, hand to the sky, and normally it means a home run is coming for the other team.
Yes, I remember he gave up that home run against Diamondbacks, and he pointed to the sky, and the ball basically hit the top of the roof.
He had a good run on the Angels last year, which is interesting, but then he just imploded, or it was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, well, he's a pure 9.
Yeah. Pure 9 for Hansel Robles. Next one, recently traded to the Toronto Blue Jays.
6. He never reached his full potential either. I think he's kind of a mental midget. When things start going bad, they completely implode on him. He doesn't have the skill or ability to tough it out. And that's why he never fully reached what he should have been.
Do you have a favorite memory? I mean, I assume it's either his debut or the World Series.
It's got to be his debut. It's got to be his debut.
Yeah. Yeah. I was at that game. It was a crazy game. I mean, just being there was awesome. I mean, there's so much potential for the kid. You know, he grew up Mets fan. It's sad that it didn't work out.
Well, he just was never consistent enough, and last year was just brutally awful.
Yeah. I mean, the first start of the year was good. I mean, I was thinking after the first start that maybe he was going to be something, but you just can't trust the guy, I guess. But was sad to see him go. But obviously, new beginnings ahead. Next one, I'm not even sure who the next one. Oh, this one. This was a random one. I don't know why I put this on there.
Is that Kevin Pillar, the Riley Killer?
Kevin Plawecki, yeah.
Oh, Kevin Plawecki.
Yeah.
He sucked. I'll give him a 5 because he sucked. Yeah. There's nothing more I don't have any memories of Kevin Plawecki.
Yeah. The only memory I have of him, which is why I put him up, I was wondering if he'd remember, is I'm pretty sure he was the one who had like the dildo in his locker in that infamous photo.
Yes, yes, indeed he did.
Which, I mean, I don't even know what's going on there, but Kevin Plawecki. I'm not sure what the next. Oh, that's right. We'll skip that. Here we go. Next one's here.
10. He sucked. He's a creep. He's a loser. And he's a moron.
Yeah. Do you have a most notable bad memory of Mickey Callaway?
When Ed Luz Diaz lost the game, he came in the press conference and said that Edwin Diaz had electric stuff.
And then the last one, you've already mentioned a few times, but yeah.
There's room for improvement. There's room for improvement.
If you had to give him out of 10, 1 out of 10 right now.
5.
Last season was huge. I mean, he had a good year last year. You got to keep that up.
Yeah, he did. Although he had 2 devastating losses.
Yeah.
And the one in Yankee Stadium was just.
Oh yeah, was that that was the Hicks home run, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was not good. That whole series was a mess. I remember the one game with the Ramos tag. I don't know if that was the same game. I mean, Ramos was so bad, but yeah, that team was a mess.
We'll
And
see.
yeah,
You
with
ever see
that,
the you ever see the sloth from what was that? What was that name of that movie? Zootopia.
Zootopia. Yeah.
When he's doing this.
Oh yeah.
That's
what Wilson Ramos looks like when he's tagging somebody.
I remember that went all around Mets Twitter after that whole debacle. I want to ask you, I know you're a Dolphins fan as well. What do you think about, obviously Desean Watson has been a lot in the rumors. What do you think about that whole situation? Do you want them to trade for him, or do you want to stick with, are you a big Tua guy? Do you want them to stick with Tua?
You know, I think Tua could be good, but if they get Desean Watson, they could get Desean Watson.
Yeah.
I think Desean Watson is terrific. I think Desean Watson is doing the right thing by asking him to get out of Houston. I mean, that organization is it's a total clusterfuck. And I'm glad that the Texans released J.J. Watt. He deserves a chance to go sign somewhere where he can maybe win a Super Bowl in his last years. I mean, the organization's a mess. Bill O'Brien.
Oh boy.
And the only thing that might be worse right now is the Eagles. Howie Roseman. You just gave the Colts Carson Wentz, and you got nothing back.
Yeah, I mean they really sell themselves short. They're hoping for Matt Stafford Hall, got nowhere near that.
I mean, you got a third and a conditional second-round pick. You got the 84th pick, and maybe a first-rounder if the Colts make the playoffs. So at best, that's a 20th pick. That's all you got.
It's crazy.
And they were talking about, like, I remember that report came out where it was like a few first, like Foles and then Tariq Cohen too, and it's just like,
yeah. And then it ended up
what
there's
happened
an offer.
I mean, for Wentz, you'd expect him to get at least 2 2s and a 1. I mean, this trade was just what the fuck are the Eagles doing?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because we had a friend of mine who's an Eagles fan. We filmed a bit for about the Wentz trade, posted it earlier, and he was happy with the deal. Like, he was saying how like great it was, how the return they got was great, and how it's like it was interesting. He was on board with it, which I think was interesting.
They got no return.
Do you think that Jalen Hurts could be the future at the quarterback position for the Eagles, or do you think that they should move on and try to find someone else?
I'm not too particularly convinced that Hurts is going to be that good. I mean, look at that last game. They tried that other guy out.
Yep.
Which is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Giants fans.
We talked about that on our thing, yeah. It was, yeah.
Could you imagine if the Cowboys would have won that last game in Giant Stadium?
Yeah, I already know how I would have felt.
And the Eagles pulled that shit. Jerry Jones would have flipped his wig. Jerry Jones would have made it that no more tanking could be done in the NFL. He would have rained hellfire on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yep. Yeah, Jerry. I mean, you already know. Going off at Roger Goodell, something would have happened. I mean, that was the worst thing I've seen. If I was a Giants fan, or if we even won that game, I would have been off the walls.
I mean, that guy did not belong on a football field.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen. I mean, he's as bad as like someone like Craig Wheelahan.
Yeah. All right, switching up a little bit here. I'm curious. Obviously, Rough and Rowdy 13 happened a few weeks ago. the whole Jose Canseco debacle happened. Obviously, you and Jose exchanged some words prior to the fight. I mean, what are your whole thoughts? Obviously after the fact of what happened. Like, did he take a dive? What do you think of Jose Canseco now?
No, he didn't take a dive. He quit. He quit. He, I don't think he was did full health. So but he didn't want to lose the money. So he stepped in the ring. And when Billy rushed him and just started punching him, he decided, no, I don't want to do any part of this. And he took a knee.
Mm-hmm.
So he quit. That was more of just being a total loser.
Yeah, I mean, it was shocking to see. I mean, I think Jose was favorited too in the odds, I believe. But yeah, I mean, he just clearly didn't want to be there, and walked away with what do you get, like $1 million or something like that?
Yeah.
Just ran with it.
Yeah. He got a huge payday. And he probably needs it because he's probably spent all his money 10 times over.
Yeah.
At one time, he was the highest paid player in baseball. But there's a reason why his career ended the way it did. There's a reason why in the midst of a playoff race in 1992, that the A's traded him at the trade deadline. I mean, there are reasons. And the reasons is because he's it.
Yeah, totally. And then I guess to move on from this and go into something that you are very interested in, and that is your soda reviews. We know you are very big on doing your soda reviews. So I guess something interesting to ask would be, what are your top 3 favorite sodas? What would those be? And then what are some sodas you would never touch again?
Well, anything that has Lester on it, I won't touch again. Top 3 sodas I would say would be Pepsi, Sunkist orange soda, and Sprite.
Sprite. Is there anything specific about those that you like, and what separate them, I guess, from some of the other sodas that you've tried?
I'm not sure. But Sprite is always good when you're not like when you're just feeling a little under weather. Sprite's always pretty good for that. Whoops. Just like Canada Dry ginger ale is pretty good too. But yeah, I'd say those are my 3 top sodas.
Interesting. Obviously, you also review lots of food as well. What would you say your favorite food that you've either reviewed or had? What would you say that would be? I know one's probably hard, so maybe give a few if you want, whatever.
Well, of course, Rutt's Hut was one of my top review spots. Dickie D's. There was another good one. Of course, I tried the original Nathan's, which was terrific. Hopefully, I can make it out to Coney Island sometime this year. Things will be open enough. Get to a Brooklyn Cyclone game.
Yeah, sports. I mean, hopefully you go over see your New York Mets. I mean, hopefully this all takes a swing now.
Yeah, hopefully things will start calming down with this. The vaccines are out, and it looks like numbers are declining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I go weekly for COVID tests, so
that's good.
and even though I felt like shit this week, I got negative results, so that's good.
Yep. Always hope for that negative.
Yeah, yep. I had I made a big mistake of playing basketball yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and it just wrecked me. It just fucking wrecked me. But I'm starting to slowly feel better.
That's good.
He's good. I guess another question I would have for you. Obviously, I mentioned it in the intro. You started sportsencyclopedia.com. How did you get interested in starting that? How did that come about? And what have you?
After college, I was having trouble finding a job, so I needed something to do in a day, so I did that.
Have there been any specific moments about that or anything that stood out that you've written or any of your favorite articles or anything like that?
Well, it's been a little tough lately. I'm lagging in my updates. I haven't finished my NFL updates. I haven't updated a team in 2 months.
Really?
I don't know why. I'm so involved in Barstool now. It's like getting kind of hard to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something you hope to keep on doing in the future, or do you think that Barstool will be more of a key thing that you're starting to focus on right now?
I don't know.
Mm.
Are there any future plans or things coming up soon for Barstool that you're doing that you're excited about that you could potentially share
Well, I
with the
got some
viewers?
hot dog reviews coming out over the next few weeks. Released one yesterday at A&W. These are the ones I did in West Virginia and Detroit.
Mm.
Mm. How was your trip in general to obviously you're traveling for Rough and Rowdy and then you went to Detroit for the sportsbook. How were those trips? What do you have, what was maybe some of your
I
favorite
enjoyed
moments in
it.
those?
I enjoyed it. I look forward to more travels in the future.
Is traveling something you've kind of always been interested in, or has it been something you just recently picked up? Now
It's
that you
always something I've been interested in.
Mhm. Have there been any specific, I guess, trips or anything that you've enjoyed throughout your lifetime?
Nothing specific.
Mhm. All right, so I guess that'll do it for us. I think we got all our questions in. We appreciated having you on with us today. As always, everyone, we appreciate you guys watching this week's episode of Outside the Arena. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure to follow us all on social media. My Instagram is mac.rommel. Griffin's Instagram is.
Griffin Senek.
And we will make sure to link all of Frank's social media platforms in the bio. Make sure to also follow us on our podcast Instagram, which is Outside the Arena Podcast. And we will see you all next week.